It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, Where I Am Now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 Studio, WMVA 88.9 FM studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to see us all over the globe, hear us all over the world, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM, 1350 AM, go to church webcast, click and listen live. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors. Let's welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, WPCE 1400, Peace 95.3 FM, WMVA 88.9 FM. Good morning.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we promise we'll shout you out.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. We got 2 channels over there on YouTube. At FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. You can also go to Crystal Records 1. CRISTO Records 1. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we promise we will acknowledge and shout you out.
Shout out.
I tell you what, Mr. E, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Talking about a lot of rain on yesterday. We got a little bit today. Hopefully it'll be going and clearing out soon. But I tell you what, fall is about to jump us. And I think we're ready for it.
Right now, 60 degrees on the outside. It's partly cloudy. The weatherman says it's going to be a little misty. There's 40% chance of rain on today, and it should subside on Thursday, Friday, and 80s and something on the weekend. So, get ready for it.
Sounds good to me. I tell you what, this is Hump Day, and this is FYI What's Under the Hat Issues Concerning Men. And we have a wonderful friend that's going to be with us. This is Mr. Michael Marshall, and he's our very special guest today. We're going to talk about something that our community really needs to listen, learn, and participate in. Mr. Michael Marshall, good morning.
Good morning, Yolanda. Good morning. I can hardly hear for some reason. It sounds very low to me.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can hear you a little better.
Okay, I'm going to try to speak up even more, and Mr. E is going to try to get you where you can hear us a little bit better. But Michael, thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to talk about something that's very serious. But before we do that, let's talk about you and who you are. Tell us a little bit about your start and your journey.
Yes, well, thank you. First of all, good morning out there. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Marshall. I'm a native of Portsmouth. Been working in the city of Norfolk for probably over the last 15, 16 years. But but also working with nonprofit organizations for 23 years throughout the Hampton Roads area. Since that time, I started my own business, consulting and contracting business out of the passion that I had for working with marginalized communities and working with social issues around the area in Hampton Roads here. And so I started First Opportunity, again, which is a consulting, contracting business that I can utilize all of my skills and experiences to take back to other nonprofit organizations and help them work through whether it's certain program strategy that they want to work through or evaluating some of their program services, what's more effective in our community, being intentional about the programs that we're trying to create. So that's what First Opportunity does, getting involved with those marginalized communities.
Well, we want to thank you for all you do and how you have been there for Crystal Community, my organization. I know at the start of the Boys Club, I remember talking with you, have a consultation, and you encouraging me to start that Boys Club and what it should look like. I want to say thank you so much because that was in the early 2000. I became a nonprofit 2004. It's 2025 and it's still rolling. And I just want to say thank you for helping me with my beginnings. We're going to talk about.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mike. So let's talk about this thing called fentanyl. You have an event coming up. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But Michael, tell us about this thing called fentanyl and what it is and why you have become an advocate in this fentanyl awareness.
Well, yes, sure. It definitely is an honor to be able to speak about this relevant, significant issue that's going around, not just here, but around the country. What people don't realize, fentanyl has been around for a very, very long time. Back in the 1960s, it was a drug that they used for pain and relieving pain and for more chronic illness and diseases. But that was a medical use because fentanyl is considered a Schedule II drug. So we're not talking about Schedule II drugs today. We're going to be talking about fentanyl, the illicit drug that is made through various ways. And so we have in China where they're making the precursors there. The precursor is just, chemicals that are combined and mixed together that are most of the time sent straight to Mexico. The Mexico cartel, there are two Mexico cartels that is controlling the industry. They create this synthetic drug that's called fentanyl, along with other synthetic drugs, and that's where our fentanyl and other dangerous drugs are coming from, straight from Mexico to the U.S. Now, in particular, what I learned from the DEA here just over the weekend, our ports is a main hub right here in Norfolk. And so this is why we're seeing it being hit so hard. There was a time where they maybe were sending it straight to Miami and other ports, but Norfolk is a main port, and they are having some major drug busts and confiscating, thousands and thousands and thousands of pills that ends up on our street that are killing people. I want to pause there because what fentanyl does to people is devastating. And in particular, our young generation, our young people from the age group of 18 to 45, fentanyl is the leading cause of death. It's the number one killer, more than car accidents. And so that is very alarming, very alarming. We're losing over 150 people a day. That's equivalent to 10 to 11 minutes.
Yes.
A person is dying from this dangerous poison, accidental overdoses. And so that's kind of a intro to this deadly fentanyl.
This is a crisis. This is nothing. This is not child's play. This is a real crisis. And what made you get involved, Mike, into advocating this advocacy?
Right. So what really got me involved, um, I was talking to a friend of mine. Actually, she gave me a call. Her family gave me a call. They had just lost a loved one. He was early 50s, very successful young man who had a promising career. He was an outstanding athlete in school. Never had a background in substance abuse or substance use. Never. From the
Mhm.
time I've known him, even up into an adult. And I think, and what they described to me was that he got involved with some friends, and they had, some kind of um, party or whatever was going on at
Yes.
the time, and there was, substance there, and then he tried, to steal,
Yeah.
and it killed him.
Mm.
And
Oh
so,
my.
when they shared that with me, I already was aware of how many people were expiring from fentanyl and from overdose, even from my own community that I grew up in. And I was hearing about a lot of people starting back in maybe 22 or 23,
Yeah.
2022, 2023. I began to hear about a lot of people, and I just couldn't stand on the sideline and not, get involved, and especially being an advocate for a marginalized community. I understood that a lot of seminars were happening in other areas, but they weren't in our communities. And so when I researched a little more, I was like, well, how are people being educated and how they're being informed about this deadly poison that's on our streets that our young people don't have a clue or aware about, because fentanyl has been linked to every illicit drug. And I say
Mhm.
illicit because these are drugs that normally, right, would be Schedule 2 drugs that are used. So the cartels are duplicating the pills that you normally could go, get from your doctor.
Yes.
And so what's happening is we got young people that take Xanax or Adderall for, different medical use and conditions. Those when those prescriptions run out a lot of times, they're not able to get to them. And so what's happening is that they are making these pills available online, and the
Yes.
young kids starting to buy them, and the dealers are starting to, and they have pressed these pills out to duplicate and look just like what an Adderall will look like, what a Percocet will look like. And so now we have these counterfeit pills that are floating around everywhere. I mean, we're finding enough that would wipe out the whole U.S., to my understanding, from the DEA. And
Yes.
so that's what got me involved, because and I have so many people, so many families that have called me, has talked to me about, this deadly drug, and I'm like, what is being done? And so that's a whole nother show, because
Yes.
there's some legislation that definitely obviously needs to be in place. We have a stigma around substance abuse for most people. Most people say, hey, well, they just stop using, or what, and it's just not that easy.
Mhm.
You're talking about going from, you know, maybe recreational use to getting addicted to the drug,
Yes.
and now it is becoming a part of the disease of the mind, of the brain. And so when you're talking about going through those phases, it's not just you can just get off of opiate on your own. You really need, more than just
Yes.
detox, and you need to have some more treatment and clinical and counseling and therapy. It's a lot that goes involved. People sometimes are, are addicted to these things for years and years, and then the drugs that we
Absolutely.
use to detox people and get them back, that they're also considered opiates. So people stay on, these drugs for a very long time. And so that's what
Absolutely.
got me involved, is to try to, one, I want to break that stigma of people seeing people just as someone who just been abusing drugs forever. We're talking about young children, as young as 14 years old, that are
Yes.
dying from this, and they
Absolutely.
are first time experimental activists. And so we have to get these young people educated. Not just young people. I'm learning a lot of older people just don't have a clue about fentanyl. People first heard about fentanyl in 2016 when the legendary Prince passed away. That's when it
Yes.
became very
Absolutely.
popular. But it's been around since the 60s. but it became very popular during that time. And so people started to know what fentanyl was, but they didn't realize that, if you don't have a loved one that's been indulging it, then most of the time you're probably not going to know a lot about the fentanyl, but it has impacted 64% of the population. So it's impacting a lot of families.
Yes, absolutely.
When you begin to talk about fentanyl, can you describe to our audience what is fentanyl? How is fentanyl? You said there's two types: there's pharmaceutical, and there's lipid fentanyl also that's manufactured made. Tell our audience if they tell our audience. Can you hear us now?
It's just so low.
How about
But
now?
anyway, though, so I think I heard the question a little. So again, a Schedule 2 drug, right? That's
Yeah.
legal.
Okay.
That's what a Schedule 2. But also the Schedule 2 drugs, which fentanyl is a Schedule 2, just like any other opiates that are, these Schedule drugs, Schedule 2 drugs. So what the cartels have done is take these drugs, these Schedule 2 drugs, these illegal drugs, and now what they're doing is duplicating them and making them, illicit drugs, illegal drugs. They're not even, it's not even it's synthetic. So when you think of synthetic drugs, they are created in a laboratory.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with all other with our drugs, so let's say with three main drugs that people often hear about, we're talking from the cannabis plant, which is marijuana,
Okay.
right? So then we're talking about the cocoa plant, which is the cocoa plant is for cocaine. And then we're talking the opium plant, which is for all your opioids, right? So we have what's called plant-based. That's your plant-based drugs,
Yes.
I got
right?
it.
That have been used for medical use, legal use, right?
Yes.
But the cartel has now mimicked that, and now we're creating illicit, illegal drugs with those same type of drugs. By them getting the precursors from China straight to Mexico in these laboratories that is not regulated.
That's right.
It's all about production and it's all about money. And they're throwing
Yes.
the precursors in with other chemicals to come up with synthetic fentanyl because there's no more heroin on the street. So I
That's
understand
right.
the
That's right.
cartels have decided it won't be heroin anymore. So heroin was a drug that people, used, but we
Absolutely.
didn't see people dying by record-breaking numbers like we do with the fentanyl. And there are even worse drugs than fentanyl. We have what's now called Valazine. Valazine is a tranquilizer. It's not even an opiate. It's a sedated drug that they use as a tranquilizer for large animals like horses,
Yes.
elephants, or to sedate them. That now is in our streets. Just here yesterday on the news, 4 people overdosed in Newport News jail
Yes.
Yeah.
on this new Valazine, this new drug.
Yeah.
So we have to now get out in front of it because we have drugs that will follow that are just as much dangerous and more potent than what fentanyl is.
When we look at these fentanyl, can you hear me now?
I can hear you better.
Okay, when we look at these fentanyl and we're looking at this plant-based, there's a lot of food services that are selling plant-based food, like Burger King and places of that nature. This opioid, this synthetic, this fentanyl, isn't that another form of back in the day where they used to put embalming fluid into the marijuana? Now this is another step up where it takes not too much, but 2 milligrams of fentanyl to cause an overdose. How do we get this drug off the street?
Right. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
How do we get this drug off the street?
How do we?
Yeah.
How do we rid our streets with these deadly drugs?
Yes.
Well, the thing about it, Mike, you are doing something about it, your organization, and that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about you have an event coming up, and can you tell us, this is your way of getting into the community and help to eradicate this problem. Tell us about this the program and the parade and the walk that you have coming up.
Right. So what we have done, just to go back to, look, the drugs have been coming in our country. There's a supply and demand when you think about substance in America, in the U.S. So it's always been a high demand, and that supply has been met. You know what I mean, from cartels forever. This is not is not we're not in anything new. We haven't entered into anything new. What's new is again is now, just like we talked about the bombing fluid being sprayed on marijuana. You're talking a whole nother level when it comes to fentanyl. Fentanyl has a totally complete effect. People, all drugs, they're going to have an impact on the brain because it's just not designed for our brain
Yes.
to, consume, right? If it's not regulated, by, medical or science. So, um, but the fentanyl is now leading, but the cartels have gotten even smarter because we have laws. I want to quickly get to you real quick. Fentanyl, there are laws that have been passed, right,
Mhm.
through
Yes.
legislation that now can go after people who are drug dealers or whoever that's selling these dangerous poisonous drugs. And so the cartel saying, okay, well, we're now using Valazine and other type of, I think it's Nalazine or what's pronounced that way. These now are drugs that's hitting our states and hitting our areas, because they're strategically doing it. You're talking about people that are experts in creating this monstrous drug, and
Yes.
so it's nothing new for them. So the parade and the movement started again as a result of so many people dying. We found a way that we want to go back and educate and bring more awareness. So first opportunity, along with the Oak Foundation, we have been hitting, the streets. I have been talking to, politicians, nonprofit leaders, community leaders, um, people that are just experts in their field and in their industry, been talking to everyone because it impacts everyone. There has not been not one let me say it this way, every demographic and every geographic has been impacted. So
Yes.
it spares no one. And so we have to continue to educate, bring more awareness, keep it out there in front of people because we're getting comfortable because we have a 43% decrease. However, the decrease is only for fentanyl, not for the Lodazine.
Yes.
So this is why it's important for us to do these type of events, whether they're passing out Narcan or setting up pop-up stations for Narcan, parades and marches to expose, to bring together solidarity for people who have lost. We lost 72,000 people in 2023,
Wow.
and around about 50,000 people in 2024. And so we have to continue. We can't get relaxed. We can't get comfortable because we're thinking that the numbers have been are decreasing. Um, that still is a danger out there because you're still talking, 150 people down a day. Every 11 minutes, someone is expiring. That is way too much.
Absolutely.
And so,
Go ahead, Mike.
and so the march, will be an invitation to everyone. We've been getting a lot of great responses because so many people have lost loved ones. And so, we've gotten responses from even from kids at TCC because these kids are aware. It's getting out there. They are aware. They're seeing the work that's going in, not just from a first opportunity who is advocate for, educating people about this epidemic. We have law enforcement that are, obviously out there doing what they're supposed to be doing the work. We have things that are changing from a legislative standpoint. So we had, the collaboration of everyone that's involved because, and like I always say, we are fighting an enemy that we can't see. Fentanyl has no
Yes.
smell, no look. You don't
That's
know.
right.
You would never know. So you can be someone that I learned about an attorney in New York reading an article, an attorney in New York, and she and her friends were out. She took a pill, they took one, somebody else made it, somebody else didn't. And that's how the effects of it is because it's not an equally portion. You just don't know when you will get what we call a hot spot that has more fentanyl laced in it than that, 2 milligrams. So you may get something that has way more than 2 milligrams, and you just don't know. But that's just the 2 milligrams or 3 milligrams can kill you. But obviously, you have way, way more than that that'll lace is a deadly dose. And so the parade, and these other events that we've been doing is to continue to advocate, to continue to support, to continue to show people that we are there. We have a lot of people that are hurting, mothers, angel moms out there that are broken. Some talk to me and say, I don't even want to live no more. I never thought my child was in college, first year in college or senior in college. People, again, from all walks of life, all origins, all nationalities. No one is spared with this deadly enemy that we're fighting.
Can you tell us when the parade is, the Fishbowl Parade Walk?
Yes.
Give us some information.
Okay, so the information on the parade will be the annual Fishbowl Parade that will be taking place September 27th in the wonderful city of Portsmouth. We will be meeting and gathering at IC Norcom High School at 8:30. We will be assembling there to begin the march and have a prayer and greet those ones that are coming. Whether you have lost a mother, whether you're actually in addiction, whether you're supporting a friend, we know that this is This is a very relevant time, a very relevant issue, and a great opportunity for us to say, hey, we're not just marching and we're not just walking, for, to show a color. We do ask everybody to wear the purple, but we are standing in solidarity for those that are still sick and suffering, those are hurting, those parents who are in need of support. We are looking to gather and talk with them and share with them where First Opportunity or Oak Foundation, how we can support them even further after we move away from the parade and from the march.
Michael, I want to get back to this fentanyl. What are some of the signs of an overdose in fentanyl?
Well, fentanyl is sudden. Okay, fentanyl just could be sudden. You're talking, ain't no signs. I'll say this. There may be signs of someone that's involved, right, or someone that has an addiction. And, you start seeing people to withdraw. They may look disheveled, not, keeping up on hygiene, maybe mentally, emotionally, depressed, begin to not be normal anymore. So you'll see those signs of people who are probably engaged or actively involved with some type of substance.
Yeah.
But also that may not be for everybody because you have people that are functional substance abusers, and so if they're functional substance abusers, they go to work every day like you and I. They are well groomed. They are businessmen. They have on student tie. They may be the nurse that have on scrubs. They may be the construction worker, or they may be the politician. You don't know. It's no one. It has no certain look. You can't look at what in the 1960s, that old image in your head that someone in the alley that looks not a party. So that doesn't look like. It looks like a young guy with a backpack going to college classes. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, regular people. Regular people. Absolutely. So, Mike, give us a number or how people can contact you for this walk. And before we go, we got 1 minute. Tell them why it's so important for them to participate as a community.
Well, I would say it's very important to participate in this event because we don't want to wait till it hit our homes. So we want to get out in front. We want to show those that are in position to be a legislature advocate for laws and things to be changed. I can be contacted at this number, 757-257-6939. Again, my name is Michael Marshall. You can reach me on Facebook at Mike, Mikefo. Also, my email is first, FIRSTOPP, LLC, Gmail.
Yes. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you for all you do. You know you have our support, and we want everyone to participate and just show up for your community, for your children, for your families. So have a blessed day, Michael. Thank you so much. And thank you for all you all that are tuning in. I hope you take this information and share it and be blessed. Look, we'll see you back here on Fun Friday. We want you to have a wonderful, wonderful day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show. And for more information, you can give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at fyiradioshowlive@gmail.com, or you can inbox us at Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 on all these stations there out. The social media station, WPGE, WGPL, Peace, 95.3, WMVA, 88.9. And don't forget to have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye now.
We want to thank you all for joining us today. Sheila Robbins, how are you doing? I think we have, let's see, some folk on Instagram. I saw earlier, let's see, what else is going? Let me see. Beside that, we have a friend of ours. Let's see, I saw some more folk on our Facebook feed. Make sure you like and comment and share and subscribe. And, if you have any questions, we can get those questions over to Michael Marshall, and you all can definitely, get answers. You can participate, you can volunteer, and you can learn more about this problem that, it's not really a small thing. It is a crisis. And we hope that you will take the time to learn more and more about what's going on. Let's see.
When you talk about fentanyl, they can come in the cities, and it's blue pills and little white pills that has M's on them, and you can get them right off the streets, and that's what's happened or hurting a lot of young men and young women.
Yes.
Doing my research, I found out there's signs of overdose that you can find out about them. You find that they're showing slow or stop breathing, unconsciousness or inability to speak, cold and clammy skin, and blisters, lips and nails. That they need. These are some of the signs that you'll find when it comes to a fentanyl overdoses. I also found out that when you're dealing with fentanyl, it can also be in a liquid form. Also, you can get that fentanyl in liquid just as well as the pill. Mm-hmm. So please be careful. Watch what your children are taking, because it's a major killer.
Absolutely. We had Miss Veronica McMillan to come over to the Young Women Achieving Success program and do a presentation, and it was mind-blowing. Some of this stuff looked like candy. Some of the stuff, the information was like, oh, we didn't know that. I didn't know that. You can touch it, and you can it becomes problematic. It has no taste. It could be put on anything, in anything. And we want to make our children aware of it, because you got people that are giving our children things, and children are giving children things. Children are vaping, whether you all know it or not. They are using marijuana. This stuff is being laced with things, those things, fentanyl and others. And so we really, really need to let our children know, look, it's something out here, and I'm talking about it's out here like never before. When he said that heroin was not even the number one, and that used to be a number one on the top. That's not even the number one. This fentanyl and others are definitely problematic, and it is definitely a crisis. You all please participate in the event September the 27th in Portsmouth at IC Northam. So we also have some upcoming shows, hot topics. We have author guest Tamika Griffin. She's going to be on. We're going to do around the town, community news and events. Jason Baker will be on in October on After Dark, cryptocurrency, money, and more. We'll do the anti-bullying information as we get closer to October. Women in business. We have a special guest, and we have room for more. Miss C's going to give you how you could be a special guest sponsor intern with FYI.
If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor with our intern or with FYI, all you had to do is call at 757-714-7861 or email. If you email us your email, if you'd like to be in the audience, if you email us your email, we'll email you back. All you have to do is go to FYI Radio Show Live at gmail.com. Click and just put your information there, and we'll be more than happy to email you back. All right?
All right, look, you all be blessed. We'll see you back here on Friday. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Bye now.